Late Horror Show. Yes, Ginger did get a blowout.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Late Horror Show. Sunday night SmackDown. Not
He
really.
had
We're
to, he
gonna.
had to think what day is. He's like, what day is it today?
Yeah, I'm so confused. What's going on here? But yeah, we are going to be talking about Blowout, 1981. Brian De Palma masterpiece with Ginger here. How you doing, Ginger?
Good.
Good.
I'm
Good.
so excited.
Oh, I bet you are on your Philly thing.
I'm so
Anyways,
excited.
hello to everybody, and just to
Hi, everybody.
hi everybody, but just to let you know right off the bat, T-Bird, if you're still here, welcome to the channel. But
Welcome.
there you are, T-Bird. Just got to tell you, new to the channel, always look at the title of a person's stream because it'll kind of tell you what's going on. And as it says, it's a movie discussion about the movie. You can't show that movie on YouTube. Anyway,
But
it's just
if you join the Patreon channel, we might be able to have a movie night.
well, there you go. Movie nights, yes. Every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. No
It's a
fire
fun,
alarms
fun
tonight.
time.
I certainly hope not horror junkie, but hello to everybody. T-Bird, Chris W, Kathy, Roger Stevens back, horror junkie for life, Chris WCM, Kathy is here, Connie Clary, Harry Scott. All right. I'm trying to get everybody, make sure I get everybody here. And
No,
I'm
the
sure
Queen's
people
more like that.
yeah, everyone else like us. Hello. Listen, I can't wait to start talking about this. And wow, we got 12 people watching. What the hell is going on?
Their loss.
Everybody's showing up late. Is Dino doing too much here? Justin Cordero. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Justin?
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin. Anyways, yes, we are going to talk about Blowout with John Travolta, Nancy Allen, and John Lithgow. Well, we'll talk about their performances during the discussion. But man, this is a Brian De Palma. This is a masterpiece of
Of
filmmaking.
American film.
Yes. It's just there's no other way around it. There will be spoilers too, you guys. So again, if you haven't seen Blowout, this movie, maybe stop and watch it later and come back. I don't know, but
Chris W. Hi, babe. Hi, everybody. Chris W. As it happens, on movie night, I decided to go downtown to Old City with my daughter so we can hang out for a little while. And we went to a lot of the places that are in this very film.
yes, which is awesome. Very
Totally
cool.
awesome.
T-Bird saw this in the theater. So listen, this is kind of in Brian De Palma's film repertoire there, whatever. This is smack dab in the middle of Dress to Kill, which was highly acclaimed, and Scarface, which, I mean, come on, it's Scarface. But I would say Blowout, which is right in the middle there. So underrated. Kind of a cult classic because
But it was underrated. Even when it came out, it was underrated, and it hasn't really. I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't seem to have caught on even now. And it's like it's a great movie.
yes, and I don't understand why that is. The cinephiles really, really love this film and appreciate it for what it is. Like I said, a cinematic masterpiece, pretty much. I mean, you've got Brian De Palma doing everything that he does, in all his movies and doing it very, very well. I mean, you get that split focus effect and a lot of things.
The
you get
360, the 360
oh
pan
in the
shot.
in the one scene we'll talk about that too. But yeah, no, so many. You know, he did so many different things. Uh,
And he did them
dur-
so well.
yes, during his career, you can tell he has a love of cinema and the
Yes.
filmmaking process. And this film kind of draws from all of that, you know. There's so many different aspects of other films that he kind of just puts in there, you know, and it becomes a staple of his, you know. Um but yeah, no, it's a fantastic film, right, Ginger? I mean, you live right there too in Philadelphia. It's crazy.
You know, I watched a really good interview with him. It's probably about 10 years ago.
Hmm.
And, you know, De Palma has a reputation for being kind of prickly and unapproachable and rude, but he
Yes.
connects with this one young filmmaker. They connect really well. And he had a really nice interview with De Palma. And he said that from the time he was a kid, he was kind of obsessed with the Zapruder film of the
Yes.
Kennedy assassination.
Yep.
He said from the time it happened, he wanted to watch it over and over because he was like, there was so much in that short, you know, film, like
Expansive
everything,
film,
so
yeah.
much information. And they mentioned the Zapruder film in this movie.
Well,
And
it's the I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, the Zapruder film is kind of identical to the kill or the whatever the car crash
mhm,
scene, and it's very short, and they dissect it, or John Travolta does, throughout the rest of the movie.
mhm.
You know, so there's a parallel there, and there is kind of a thing with you know, it starts off with horror, a little bit of crime, then you get all this other stuff in this film.
It's
Um,
salacious, like a lot of
yes,
giallo movies. There's this sexual aspect to
a
it.
very voyeuristic.
Hmm.
You know, when it comes to you know, the
Very
filming process.
voyeuristic. That guy Burke that Lithgow plays, he's
Oh,
everywhere.
oh
He
yeah.
doesn't miss anything.
Well, and
He's
even from
either
the
looking at you or listening to you or both.
exactly, and even the camera angles, and which he turns out to be a serial killer pretty much. So the people that hired him to do what they did ended up hiring a serial killer, and I'm not sure if they knew that, but
Was he a serial killer or did he just do that for this? Was he already a serial? He did that for a
listen.
reason.
Well, listen. If again, I don't think they totally explain that to its fullest in this movie,
I mean, he was a
but
psychopath, absolutely.
oh yeah, and there was a serial killer on doing the killings, which were the killings of what was going on. But nevertheless, the way he did the killings was just like totally typical, you know, profiled serial killer. I mean, his strangulation. He
The
had a little
stalking, he would
the
stalk them. He was
stalking.
literally looking for a specific looking girl.
Yes,
Literally, he was
yes.
looking for a very specific girl.
And he took enjoyment out of the kill. So, whereas this movie is kind of a thriller, it's also a slasher. And it's interesting that they bookend this movie with the horror element,
But you
which
know what else it is? It's also like a noir, like a neo noir
little
almost.
crime noir, yeah, yeah,
Crime noir, yeah.
yep, yep, yep. And they even kind of go back in Travolta's character's name Jack, um, and what his history was behind, because
Yeah.
John Travolta plays a sound effects man, okay, for this cheesy, low budget, low end horror movie company, and he basically records all the sounds, and
Mhm.
this is a remake, somewhat, pretty much is of another movie.
Blow
Actually,
up.
two other movies predecessors to this movie. The first one was the 1966 film "Blow Up" by Michelangelo Antonioni,
Hmm.
um, and a lot of people like that film even more than this. So I am anxious to see that film because I've never seen it before, and we're
And
going
we're
to do that.
gonna, we're gonna.
Yes, we'll do that film in 3 weeks. Is what we'll do. Well, a couple weeks actually, because we do Wednesdays and Sundays now. So there you go. But I can't wait to see that and kind of It's done differently, of course. Brian De Palma is going to put his own spin on it, and I think mainly the character that John Travolta plays is different. Like in the other two movies, which is Blow Up, and the other one was The Conversation with Gene Hackman.
Oh, I
Um,
love that movie so much. Oh,
Another good one. But both of those have kind of like two protagonists, and here we get John Travolta, we get Nancy Allen, who plays Sally. She's the girl that he rescues. But I want to talk about this opening scene, this POV shot, right?
well, didn't we just, what's the movie that we just did not too long ago that was a movie within a movie? We just did one that was like a film within a film.
Oh, don't ask me stuff from the past, please. I don't know what
We
you're
just
talking
reviewed another
about.
movie a couple weeks ago where there was a movie in the
Yeah,
movie.
Demons.
Yeah,
Yes, it was the
yes.
movie in the movie. They went into the theater, they saw the zombies. It
Although,
was
please, let's not make any other comparisons to Demons. Let's carry on with Blowout.
yes, and I see some people in here. Lee Donovan, holy crap! Thank you, dear friend. What's going on? Did I miss something? Oh, it's hard for me to see. Horror Junkie for Life gifted one membership to. Thank you, Horror Junkie for Life. Much love to you. You gifted it to Lee Donovan. Was gifted a membership, so now you get to watch movie nights with us every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Pants optional.
Pants option. No Gremlins causing trouble tonight. I hope, hopefully not. And overnight stream tonight is going to be all Johnny Dollar compilation I put together. So you guys will have fun with that tonight.
Guys love Johnny Dollar. How come all guys love Johnny? You guys think you're Johnny Dollar? Is that what you do? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Listen, one of the best detectives of old time radios, and people love it. So thank you again, Horror Junkie. But I also see that Terrence M. Ritchie is here. One Sean Bond is here. Frank McLeod has showed up. WWM.
Hi,
And
Frank. I'm Ginger.
Yeah, this is Ginger. That's Frank. And Glenn showed up. Hey, Glenn, back there, way back there. I don't know if you're still here, but good to see you. Good to have you here.
WWM Dino said he did, I believe, speak
What's
with
that?
Tracy recently, and she and the boys are fine.
Yeah, everything's going good there. Well, I mean, I can't say that. They're okay.
They're safe. They're alive. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Power's still off for a while. I think they got phone back. So that's a good thing. But being without power, you know how that is, man. Life sucks without power unless you like to live out in the wild. And that's kind of cool sometimes too. So
Yeah.
anyways, I'm waiting for the Halloween overnights happens in October. Horror Junkie, interesting. So this opening sequence of this film was.
You think that this is the movie that you're gonna watch?
Yeah,
you think that it's the movie.
Exactly. If you start watching this and the movie comes on, you're going, oh, and you know, again, Brian De Palma started out doing the cheesy 80s horror, kind of not 80s, but he did Carrie. Then he started going into kind of some suspense type films, thrillers, and I think he wanted to throw people off here a little bit. And he started
made just a thriller. This movie's just a thriller.
Well, it's a thriller, slasher, crime noir, like you said. It's got a lot of different things going on.
It's got some giallo to it.
Yes,
There's a police investigation going on.
Listen, you can tell right away Brian De Palma, especially with Dress to Kill. That's a giallo film, 100%. He takes inspiration from these Italian film makers, and even Blow Up, which is an Italian filmmaker, even though he did it for British studio at the time, Blow Up, but nevertheless. You can tell he's got Alfred Hitchcock too. Lots of inspiration from Alfred Hitchcock, you know.
The opening scene is almost like Psycho with the girl in the shower and the knife.
And Halloween. You get this extended, I mean, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. You get this extended POV.
It's a long shot. He shoots it in one take, this super long shot that goes like the whole way through this house or something. And that's one of the things that he does, and he does it so well.
Yes,
It's called a
yes.
tracking shot, I think, because the camera's like on a track
Yes,
or something
yes.
like that.
Yes, it's a tracking. It's a long shot, POV style. Hello, trash stash. What's going on? It's basically POV, one long shot going from,
And you see
showing
so much. It's
showing the
so well done.
oh yeah, showing the voyeuristic side of things and horror movies and kind of taking a stab at the what went on during it. Lots of
Taking a
naked
stab
girls.
at it. That was
Thank you very much. Thank you
very
very
good.
much. Woo, show's over. Anyway, so with the girls are making out, they're nude, they're dancing, they're it's that college sorority type thing, and there's a killer out the window with a knife and coming up looking at them, and again, just one long shot, and you get
Oh, what was the name of the movie? I can't think of the name of the movie. I didn't write it down.
oh, I don't know.
I'll
It
look it up.
doesn't
What's the
matter.
name of
You
the movie? It's like, really? Because
listen, all the posters in that like studio were just
what was the name
some
of
of
the movie within a movie? Blowout, 1981.
so a lot of the posters look pretty cool, like the early 80s horror films. I mean, there were some cool posters up on the wall with very cool names. I didn't write them down. I wish I would have, but it's definitely. Did you get it? No. It's
No, I'm listening to you. I'm sorry.
no,
I can
it's all
only do one thing at a time.
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, on that. But there's a. Don't forget to email Halloween decoration costume photos so you can share with. Yeah, I've got one. Chris has sent a Halloween picture, which is thank you, thank you, thank you. But I definitely want your Halloween pictures. You're decorating, snap a picture, send it to Dino Media 2020 at iCloud.com or any other way that you want to get a hold of me. Yes, Hoochie Mamas go to college, CM, Yepers. Next trivia with
Oh,
no. Yeah, go ahead.
the movie was called Co-Ed Frenzy.
There you go.
Co-Ed
That's yep.
Frenzy.
Co-ed frenzy. And you're watching this POV of this killer. And as I'm watching it, and again, if you're looking at it and going, oh, this is a horror film, Brian De Palma, what is this? You see these shots of the killer POV moving, all one shot, but moving from room to room. He gets in the house after one girl sees him. I'm like going, wait a second. How are they not seeing him? This don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Because he's literally got to be in the hall. Girls are walking by. They're not going, hey, what's that dude with a knife in his hand? And then eventually he goes into the bathroom, and you see him in the mirror, and then you see this guy and you go, wait, what's going on? And then all of a sudden goes to the shower, which is the funniest part of the scene. And this kind of the opening
And
of
very
everything.
slowly, leisurely opens the shower curtain. Like he's in no hurry. It was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, well, take your time, see what's going on in there. You got a very beautiful lady, sudsing up in the shower. And
yes, boys, there is nudity.
oh, there's nudity. And he goes up and goes to stab her, and she screams this
Just
scream
terrible, horrible. Like what? Wait.
It's like, oh, and I'm like going, wait a second.
It's bad.
If you're casting for this film and you got this girl here, well, he says just for her body. We were going to have to dub the screen. I thought it was fine. And John Travolta goes, no, this is ridiculous. This is not a scream. And without saying anything, Ginger, this opening where we get that the owner of this company or whatever, and John Travolta sitting next to him, and that's where you find out he's a sound guy, and they're sitting there editing a film. That scream is going to end up being a big part of the end of the movie, and I'll stop it there because when we get to that, it's one of the most unbelievably tense scenes
and sad, just
and
so
endings.
sad.
Yes, all at one time. So anyways, we'll get to that. That's for sure. So we got John, who's Travolta, who's Jack, Nancy Allen, who's Sally, and Nancy Allen in this film is not like the Nancy Allen in
Right.
in Dressed to Kill.
She's not a call girl.
No, well, in Dress to Kill, she had a little bit of brains. In this one, we're a little bit more. She's a little bit more of a sympathetic,
Yeah.
ditzy kind of
Yeah. You're
character
right. Yeah.
who's very naive, and and for the role, I guess it plays off well with John Travolta in his character.
Well,
Um,
whatever the reason was for it, I know that it's exactly what De Palma wanted, and it's also exactly what John Travolta wanted because he told De Palma, "I want Nancy in this movie.
yes.
Nancy needs to be Sally."
Yep.
And De
Oh
Palma
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, but then everybody's going to think she's my wife, and I just put her in all my movies." But Travolta was like, "No, she needs to be in this movie with me."
Yeah. And hey, Rich Cat Ranch and Daryl Hagler, what's going on? No
Hi,
spoilers here.
everybody.
Daryl Hagler, we will be saying spoilers though, because we are going to discuss the entire movie. So unfortunately, if you haven't seen the movie and you want to go watch it and be surprised,
You can
go
come back
watch
and
it
watch this later
and
because
come
there's
back and
going to be
watch this.
nothing but spoilers.
Yeah. Because we definitely are discussing it. And what's this? LOL Ginger, the chicks in this. Wait, no. Lee Donovan. Any thoughts on the new Lee Donovan? What are you talking about? A whole different movie. Any thoughts on the new Hellraiser? Doug Bradley, Pinhead, did give his blessing for it. Ginger, real quick, I'd like to stick to this movie, but I will mention my thoughts on that. From the head up, the female Pinhead that they got for this movie, which I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, as long as you do it right, anybody can be the demon priest, as Clive Barker says. Okay, anybody can. But I'm just going as the look and the character Pinhead. She looks good from the neck up, but when they show the Cenobites, the rest of the body, especially Pinhead, the rest of the body it doesn't look good. The rest of it does not look good for me. I am very disappointed in that. The look of the movie itself, the trailer so far, it looks good, but the Cenobites, which are the main driving force of Hellraiser, the bodies look horrible. And I hope when I see the full film, because I will watch it, I am surprised and say, okay, they pulled it off. It's okay. But her as Pinhead the face looks okay, but the rest don't. On to this again. Hey, RTN, what's going on? Nice to see you. It's not like Nancy Allen is Sandra Locke or something. Okay, again, Nancy Allen Ginger. Her character a bit ditzy a little bit. She plays this kind of hooker, although she works at a counter.
She's not really like a, well, yeah. She's, what she does officially for a living is she models lipsticks for some company, and they pay her just to model these lipsticks. So on the side,
Maybelline. Yeah.
So on the side,
yeah. Maybelline. What?
I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I forget what I was saying now. You go.
This guy, she puts on lipstick and makeup, but this guy.
And she has this low-life friend, and they scam people. Dennis Franz, who is the New York cop with the Chicago accent in the other movie.
Yeah, he's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago, but he's the New York cop.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he's a dirtbag scammer. And Nancy Allen, Sally, is his accomplice, and they basically get her in situations where she's naked with some married man or politician or whatever, and he takes pictures and then they blackmail him.
Yes, that's the part of the film that's that's a good one, Dennis. Any thoughts on the old Dark House? Yeah, you can find a full commentary on the channel with that. But anyways, yes, and that's the part of the film where Brian De Palma.
I'm blurry.
It keeps getting out of focus just because the length you are away from the camera. That's all. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I don't know.
Okay.
How weird. But anyways.
You're weird.
You're weird. You're weird. Let's act like kids. Oh, you're stupid. You got gum in your hair. I hope you can't get it out. Pull out scissors. Woohoo. So listen. So yes, Dennis Franz plays this, and we don't see him that often. There's just a couple scenes. Well, a few
Enough
scenes.
to know that he's a dirtbag.
Oh yeah, he's an alcoholic. He's pimps out the girl, and you know.
He was gonna rape Nancy Allen. I
Oh, he
mean, he was
was.
all hands, and she was screaming, "No, no, no!"
Yes, yes. But I like the getting back to this opening kind of sequence and stuff too. After that horror sequence is done, and you find out he's this, sound guy and everything like that. I love the beginning of the film when the credits are still rolling and they do the split screen, like Brian De
Yeah.
Palma is very well known for
Yep.
during that time period. You get a split screen of news going on about what's going on with the
This
Liberty
parade
Bell,
that's
and
coming up,
yes, and
an
the
election.
yes, and the other side of the split screen is John Travolta doing his work, and I can see why he did that, because just an opening credits with him just doing that work kind of could be boring. Just seeing him cutting strips of film. Okay, he's a sound guy. Okay, let's throw in a split screen where we're throwing in the news and everything going on. It interlaces it with each other, and then it's just very cool. I love that scene. It's a good opening, and again, everything in this film, Ginger, every scene, the detail, what he puts in every single scene shot is just fantastic, well thought out.
The
To me,
interview that I
impressive.
saw with De Palma, he said that when he was still directing really cheesy horror slasher movies or whatever, he actually went to his sound guy and was like, "This scream again, like every movie, it's this same scream. Like you need to go out and get." De Palma sent his sound guy out, just like
Yeah.
Jack in the movie. Go get us some new sounds, like the birds chirping, wind blowing, like a
Yeah.
new scream. Like we've been using the same scream. De Palma actually did that, and then he put it right there in his movie.
Yeah, no, definitely 100%. That's kind of and again, that's what they do in the movie. But I want to throw this in there too. The sound guy for Stanley Kubrick, The Shining, that POV Steadicam shot that you get of the girl on the big wheel going through, not of the girl, of Danny, red rum,
Yeah.
okay, got up the house. He the year prior he did The Shining with Stanley Kubrick, and he did that, and he what am I going to say? He did a great job with perfecting that steady cam kind of shot. And in this film, he gets called by Brian De Palma and to work on this, because Brian De Palma wanted the best sound guy for his film. I mean, not sound guy, cameraman, to do the steady shot, to shoot that opening sequence. And here it ends up being that he's doing the crappy version, like they did, like kind of in Halloween. He's like, Halloween, it was great, but the camera was all over the place. No human body goes like this back and forth. And he goes, and then he wanted me to shoot it like that after everything I'd done with. He goes, but he got it, and he says, "Okay, I get what you're doing here." So I just thought that was kind of funny to add in there a little bit of.
So he sends the director sends Travolta, Jack, out, like, go out and get some new sounds. So Travolta goes to the Henry Avenue Bridge.
Oh, Ginger's walked there many times with lovers.
No, but that is a good parking spot though. But it's beautiful over there.
The bridge looks. Yeah, the bridge looks really cool.
People don't. People, I think maybe when you think of Philadelphia, you think of the buildings, the City Hall, the tall Liberty Place, and all that stuff. But if you go just a little bit outside of Philly, you've seen like the Village.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pennsylvania is very hilly. It's woody. It's beautiful.
Well, of course, yeah.
And that's where he was, on the Henry Avenue Bridge over the Wissahickon. And he's recording sounds.
Yes.
And he just happens to be there as a car is coming around. Because a lot of our roads over in that area, Lincoln Drive and Kelly Drive, they're like that.
They're like
snakes. He comes around the corner, car goes off the bridge into the creek. And he's right there.
Boom.
He just happens to be right there recording it all.
Yeah, yeah.
And he runs down the hill because the car is in the water.
Oh
And he runs
no.
down the hill.
Oh, I know. And I got scared. I said, "Oh, I bet you Nancy Allen's in there." And then the goosebumps, they started to appear. The Wackasack River, that is right underneath that bridge.
It's not a river, it's a creek. It's the Wissahickon. Go ahead.
It's the Wissahickon Creek. I thought it was the Wackawacken. The Wackens. It doesn't matter. Nevertheless, he's on the bridge, and I like how he's, again, Brian De Palma, master at this. He was filming John Travolta taking every single sound before that car crash. You would hear step by step pointing in the direction of every sound, because when that frog leaps off, something made that frog leap off of the rock into the. He kind of really dwindles it down and kind of solves the case very quickly, right? He's a superstar, is what he is.
WWM said take a shot. That's our
Whack and
deal.
sack. Whack
Every
and
time I
sack.
give
There you
Dino
go.
the finger, you have to take a shot.
There you go, CM. It's whack and sack. That's what you do. You whack them and you sack them, and then you throw them in the river. Wait a second. Oh, that's private information. Nevertheless, as Ginger says, Philadelphia is it's a big city on the east side of Pennsylvania, and the rest of Pennsylvania is a bunch of Amish land and jungle is what they call it.
Not just Amish, also Mennonite.
There you go. And Bigfoot. There are Bigfoot.
No, big feet. We don't have big feet.
There's Bigfoot all over those woodlands.
We don't have big feet in Pennsylvania.
Listen.
We have witches in Pennsylvania.
If you go oh, geez,
like
I'm
the
scared.
Blair Witch.
Okay, maybe we need to continue. Okay, so the crash. Oh, I'm scared. I heard something. So Chris.
So he gets Nancy Allen out of the creek, and they get to the hospital. And everyone, absolutely everyone in the hospital is smoking a cigarette. Everybody, they're all smoking.
Listen, the late 70s, early 80s, man, everything went. Everything. I mean, yes. And I'm not going to say like cigarette smoking is, I can't stand it. Okay. But looking back on these things, I guess because I was a kid back then, is not that I enjoy. I don't want secondhand smoke, but man, the just the way things were back then. I don't know what's going on. Are we headed towards 1984, Ginger?
So,
are we?
Did you know that Brian De Palma considered Al Pacino for the role of Jack?
I think he did. I think he pulled them back in.
But he happened to be talking to Travolta about another script that Travolta was reading, and he wanted to kind of bounce it off of De Palma. And De Palma was like, well, I'm working on this thing too. It's going to be called Blowout. And Travolta was like, send it to me. I'd love to see it. And when he read it, he was like, I want to be in that movie.
He said, hey, let me see it, Brian. You know what I'm saying? This is like weird that this script. Oh, anyways, go on.
That's pretty good. It doesn't sound like your Howard Cosell or your Don Adams, which both sound the same, by the way.
It's fun. Yeah, whatever. Come on. Okay, so almost went to Al Pacino, which Nancy Allen would have been looking down at him. But anyways, yeah.
So we talked about the different camera shots.
Can we
talk about the conversation, please? Can I talk about the conversation? The movie?
No. So let me continue with. Oh no! What? Wait. What are you talking about? Go ahead. Yeah. Don't cry.
The conversation.
I mean to cry. Oh.
I don't know if everyone has seen The Conversation with Gene Hackman, but if you haven't, you should. It was Harrison Ford's first big movie role.
Oh yeah, that's when they Gene Hackman and Harrison Ford. They're most of the movie. They're in this diner just talking.
No.
Right? No. Okay. Well, tell me about it.
Gene Hackman is a like a private investigator for like very high profile people.
They multiply. Go on. Yeah.
I'm gonna just talk to my cat. Come here, boo boo.
I need some water. Oh, cramps are setting in. Oh, jeez. Why'd I eat that? Okay, because of course Pacino ended up doing Scarface with the De Palma a few years later. Yeah, that's where they. Yeah, it all comes in. Sandy, what'd you do that for? Come on, continue with what you were saying there, Ginger.
Say
Oh,
hi to
look at you.
Blue.
Look at it's
Say hi to
blue.
Blue. She's
Hey,
not happy
blue.
right now. I'm gonna have to put her down. She's not happy.
We need blue on stream on the overnights. We need another cat. Go on. Continue with what you're saying.
Okay, so in the conversation, Gene Hackman is like a private investigator, and he gets hired to spy on this important person's wife because he thinks that she's cheating on him, and she is. And so Gene Hackman, in the course of all this investigation that he's doing, he hears this one line.
Yes.
Cindy Williams, who plays the commissioner's wife, she's walking
Surely.
around this park in San Francisco with her lover. And Gene Hackman's listening
Ooh.
because this is what he's getting paid to do. And he
Hot and
hears the
spicy.
man say to the commissioner's wife, he'd kill us if he got the chance. And Gene Hackman's like, oh my God, like, what have I just picked up?
You took my breath away. Oh.
But it turns out it was the inflection of that one word, us, that he heard wrong because there was so much background noise. And he got all the background noise out, and he didn't say he'd kill us if he got the chance. He said he'd kill us if he had the chance. Totally different meaning. And that was the key to the whole movie. And De Palma said that he had that in mind when he wrote this movie, that it was just that one thing. It was just that Travolta happened to be there recording that blowout, and he heard a gunshot just before the tire blew out. And that's the key to the whole movie.
Oh my God, just us. And that was it. And it would end up later on becoming the inspiration for Jordan Peele's Us. That ended up being like really highly rated in the horror film industry, you know.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see Us?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I saw the first one. What was the first one?
Get Out.
Yeah, I saw that one.
No, get out. There's someone behind you, Ginger. Leave. Gosh. Okay, no. No, jeez. No, that's not true at all. But Shirley was in it. Shirley Feeney.
Yes.
And Camille Camazo.
And she was not a good girl.
We're going
she
to
was
do
not
it.
A good girl.
No, she wasn't a good girl. Ooh. Yeah, somebody said the anti Shirley.
Yeah,
hey, Lord Bison.
Shirley.
What's going on, Lord Bison? Keep getting emails from you that are weird. But anyways, the golden era of Hollywood is dead. it's been dead a long time. They're trying with New Hollywood, but New Hollywood is sleeping. Is what's going on. Was this a whole bit? Says Grant L. What? What do you mean a whole bit? Anyways, let's continue with the movie then. So some guy comes in the hospital because it's kind of a conspiracy. The guy who was in the car was possibly the next president. Yes, and the next president, possibly, because he's got my vote. You know what I'm saying? He's got my vote. Sorry. Oh, what?
It was Governor McRyan.
Yes.
And Governor McRyan was the man driving the car that went off the bridge into the creek, and he died.
Governor McRyan, the inventor of the McNugget. Go on.
And the McGriddle, which is a delicious breakfast sandwich.
Oh, God. Let's not talk about things we shouldn't be eating. Anyways.
Oh, I don't even like the McGriddle. I'm just kidding. I had them one time. I was like, nah. Mm-mm.
So the guy there at the hospital, he's like, listen, we got to cover this up the best possible. Yes. And John Travolta said, well, where? And he says, I was there. He's trying to cover it up. Conspiracy. Nancy Allen's half offer thing. The conversation between John Travolta and Nancy Allen when she's in the bed is priceless. She's sitting there like she's a 5-year-old girl, but she's been sedated, and she's just like going, like, you remember how she was acting, Ginger?
She was like, I don't have any makeup on.
Well, and she's going, you know, and she was like a little girl, and it was because she was sedated. But then after the sedation wears off and she starts talking normally, you find out that it wasn't far off from how she really talks. But nevertheless, listen, she was good for the role, and
She was a sweet girl, though. I mean,
she was. Oh, and that's the other thing between the characters of John Travolta and Nancy Allen, the two main characters in the film. There's this kind of sweetness.
yes, very much so.
There's an undertone of that sweetness and kind of, I'm not going to say love affair because nothing like that is going on. It's almost platonic.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's a weird relationship. It's because I think they start diving deep into what's going on, and they want to
And they
uncover
needed
it.
each other. I think that they needed
Yeah.
each other, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they really connected on a lover's level. I hate to-
Anyway,
but
there was a little news thingy, just real quick that they did.
I love news thingies.
Do you?
Yeah, I got a shelf full of them.
I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to touch that one.
Got a shelf full of news thingies. News thingies.
They did a news thingy from the Bellevue Stratford Hotel, which is on Broad Street or on Market. Is it on Broad or Market? Justin, is it on Broad or Market? I can't remember. It's on Broad. It's on Broad. That's where they
Justin lives
isolated.
right by you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's your friend.
I told you he lives in South Philly.
I'm just joking. Come
So
on.
the Bellevue Stratford Hotel, the guy does a little news thingy.
Yes.
But that's where they isolated Legionnaire's disease.
Oh no.
That's
So
when they found out what Legionnaire's disease was from the Bellevue Stratford in Philly. But anyway.
Oh, a bit of the what's that channel? The History Channel. Yeah, a little bit of information there.
When he goes down the
history.
hill,
Yeah,
to see if he can save anyone when the car crashes into the creek.
You know who else went down the hill? Jack and Jill.
What'd they go down there for?
They went for a pail of water, but
what happened?
Jack fell down.
Oh yeah, and then
he broke his
What about
crown.
Jill? What happened to Jill?
Oh, she came running after. But anyways, yeah. So, Margot Robbie. Oh, hey, was she there? Anyways, so Legionnaires. Yeah, that's a bit of history that I think you won't get on any other channel about Legionnaire's disease.
Probably because nobody cares. I know that's what you're saying. Go ahead.
No, listen. You're interjecting something that I didn't know, and now I know it.
Interjections.
Exactly. So continue.
When he's running down the hill to see if he can rescue anybody from the car, he runs past somebody. There's somebody else on that hill.
Again, yes, there is. Somebody comes out from behind, and it's set. The shot is set far off in the distance to where when he jumps in the water, if you're not looking closely, you're not going to see the guy move from behind the pillar.
And who was that guy?
I saw it. It was Dennis Franz.
And what was he doing there?
Oh, he was filming. He was getting actual photography, so that he can cover up
the governor.
Yeah, and cover up what's going on. Because they're going to. I mean, at this point, they're killing him. They shot out the tire. Nobody was going to save them. That creep, Dennis Franz, God damn that son of a bitch.
Hey, what was it that he didn't tell? There was something that Manny didn't tell Sally, and she found out about it later. It was the
money. Just
the money
amount.
She knew. She thought it was only $3,000, and he let it slip that it was $6,000.
Yeah.
There was something else. She didn't think that.
And he said, "Baby."
Oh,
listen.
They were just gonna blow out the tire, and they thought that they'd blow out the tire, and the car would just crash. They didn't think that the car was gonna crash and go into the creek and kill the guy.
Well,
that's not what Nancy Allen had agreed to. She didn't know the guy was supposed to die because she was in the car with him, and Manny let her get in the car knowing that somebody else was gonna blow the tire out to make the car crash, and he didn't tell her that.
Well, yeah. Listen, I think Manny, Dennis Franz's character, who was filming underneath the bridge, I think he knew that something like that was going to happen. He did give her that excuse,
Hmm.
but I think that they knew he was going to. I mean, you shoot it here, the car's going to spin. He was across the creek, the river, whatever you call it, a
It's a creek.
Wickenall Creek,
It's a
Wackanacka.
creek.
Um, the creek was deep enough for the car to go under about 15 feet. That's a pretty deep creek.
We have deep creeks here. I grew up next to a creek that could get to 15 feet sometimes if it rained a lot. So,
I'm scared, man. But yeah, nevertheless, but when you in the scene later on where you got Manny and Sally in the room, and she's going, "I need the film," and he's going, "Listen, baby, there's more money where that's coming from. We're gonna have it all over the news. We're gonna make a fortune. Then so he's trying to butter her up and tell her
and then
everything.
he tries to rape her.
And then he tries to rape her, and I love that she
She
takes the
cracks him
wine.
over the head with a bottle of scotch like a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah. Well, like you're supposed to do. If somebody attacks you, you find the nearest thing and you knock them. Yeah. So she broke the wine bottle over his head for sure. Um, Fun fact: nobody in 1919 D.W. Griffith film Broken Blossoms had Legionnaire's disease.
Oh,
Good
and
fun
also,
facts from
one more thing
RTN.
about the creek. One more thing about the creek. They filmed that movie like in the late fall, early winter, and he had to they were all in that freezing cold water that I was like, wow. And the water's deep, so you know it's really cold.
Oh yeah, I mean hypothermia set in real fast for Nancy.
So then they get to the hospital, and some
Covered her.
representative comes up to him and says, "Forget all about it." And
Oh God, we're
that
going
guy,
backwards.
I just want to ask you, that guy that came up to him, his last name was Henry, I think.
Yeah.
The guy that came up to Travolta and said, "Forget this, just forget it ever happened." He also went to Sally and gave her money and told her to get out of town for a while.
Yes. And she
Was
was going
he in on the whole thing? Did he know it was going to happen?
I don't think so much that as no, he was just one of those guys who cover up for the politician.
Okay, but he wasn't in on it.
No, and covers all the tracks.
He probably wouldn't have agreed to something like that. It was too dangerous.
Well, the guy later on, the guy that's in the older politician, who knows who he is? The guy that's didn't want him to win. Called up John Lithgow's character, who was on the phone, and again, John Lithgow was doing whatever the heck he wanted. Hello, Danny in Asheville. I am here.
Oh,
Carry
because we
on.
see
Thank you
that
very much.
man in the phone booth afterwards. We see him in the phone booth, and he's like, "This is not what I agreed to. This is not what we said was supposed to happen. Don't you ever call me again."
I love John Lithgow. Listen, John Lithgow, he can become
a psychopath.
A psychopath. Just like this, he can become a serial killer as he did in Dexter. I forget his name in the season of Dexter. It was a really good season, but he was a serial killer.
He did a whole movie about being a serial killer, I think.
Oh yeah, no, he's hit the subject matter very, very well, and he's just a fantastic actor. And then he goes and does Third Rock from the Sun, and hits the comedy just as well. But nevertheless, he plays this character so well. He's even changing his voice when he's calling somebody up and acting like he's a girl and that's a bit of giallo there too. He threw in there where he was pretending he was a woman and trying to convince, but he did everything.
Then he went, John Lithgow's character Burke, he went to the impound place where they took that car
and changed the tire.
And I know where he was. He was at 3rd and Race, which is very close to where I was at Penn's Landing. You can see the Ben Franklin Bridge in the background.
You got
there's a garage there.
Location.
And he goes in and he changes the tire. He takes the tire that has the bullet hole in it and he replaces it with another tire.
Danny in Asheville says, loved this movie back in the day, Top Notch De Palma. Back in the day, I love this film now. This is a masterpiece, very underrated and underappreciated film.
Frank said Harry and the Hendersons, enough said. True that.
There you go. I mean, the dude's got a wide range, and that's why he's stuck around for so many years in the business and done great roles and over and over. But yeah, so you get a little bit of that too, with him. he tracks down one woman that I think she's another prostitute. I think
Hmm.
the
I think the other two women that
roommate.
he killed were both prostitutes.
And wasn't she a roommate of Sally's, which
Oh,
is
I
why
don't
he
know.
killed her?
Maybe.
I think
Maybe.
that's
You're
I
probably, you
think
know
that's what,
what? I didn't think about that. Yeah.
yeah, that's why he killed her. He was going there. He saw her. He stalked her. He jumped her. Ice pick, all that good stuff. And that scene, there's glimpses of horror movies in
Hmm.
this too, like when he's stalking her and they get that deep focus, aperture on the camera again, where a close-up of the pick and the ice fish thing, and
Hmm.
while she's still walking way ahead, it's just, he's got a style that's just unique and different, and like the greats, the ones that stand out, like Hitchcock and that,
Hmm.
these people when you see their
Yes.
films.
Just like
Uh,
Coppola, you know a Coppola movie when you see one.
oh yes, of course,
Um,
definitely.
so Jack tells Sally, he tells her for the second time, look, that was no accident, and she didn't believe him. He was like, that was no accident. I'm telling you what I know. And he plays the recording and she's like, I don't know. And then you see Travolta walking through clearly what looks like a red light district. And I can only tell you that
Yeah.
there's no more red light district like that in Philly. It's all offices and stuff now. That Apollo Theater and all that's all gone. It's
Oh,
not
well,
there
no
anymore.
kidding. I mean, I think that's gone everywhere, right? I mean, I remember being a kid in the early 80s, and we drove down one street here in Cleveland, and that's all it was the movie theaters and just like you would see. I mean,
Hmm.
the red light district. It was,
Yeah,
they
but
got rid
it's
of
not
those
like that
really.
anymore.
No, they got rid of those, law or otherwise, banned a lot of
It
that
must have
stuff.
been very exciting and colorful, though. I mean,
Well,
I
listen,
wouldn't take it back, though. I wouldn't want that, but
the seedy side of the cities back in the late 70s
yeah,
were something to behold. And whether you were the strong, you know, greasy type who can deal with all of that and take care of yourself, or if you were the person who, listen, this, you got to stay as far away from that as possible
yeah.
so you don't get killed, disease, whatever. Anyways, let's move on. So
So
you're looking down at your notes. Go on.
then we find out then that Manny got film of the accident and he starts cashing in right away. He's cashing in because
Yeah.
he was there.
Yes.
Now,
Hey, Jules
is
PDF.
that what he was going to do if the governor hadn't died?
Yeah.
He's making a lot more money now than he would have if the governor had lived. And
Well, exactly. Exactly. Um, if he would have lived, which it could lend to you, I'll give you that. Okay. Is it 100% that they were going to kill him and make him swerve off into the thing, or were they going to hope that he just crashed?
yeah,
And
I think the
so,
plan was, well, Manny's a
who knows?
liar, so that's what he told Sally, that it wasn't
Right.
supposed to be like they go into the creek. It was just supposed to be it disables the car so
Yeah.
that he could have time to get up there and take pictures.
Right, right. I can't believe we're almost coming up to an hour, and we've got so much to talk about. We're going to speed it up a little bit here.
Well, this movie's only an hour and a half. It's
Well, we're at an hour already. We got 30 minutes to get through
so
this movie, and there's so many important parts coming up. I
Jack
love.
gets a newspaper
Okay,
and
there you go. I was going to talk about that.
it shows the stills of
And
the
do you
car
like?
going off.
Yes, he got the newspaper. It's got all the scenes from the video footage
The
that.
stills, each
Yes,
frame.
that Manny took,
Mhm.
and he rushes in with it into the animation department, where he cuts it up and makes kind of like this
A flip
cartoon.
book, like a
Yes,
film.
and then he takes snapshots in order to make it a film, a short
Mhm.
film, and then he goes to line up the film with
The
the
recording.
sound.
Mhm.
Yes, and they both match up. Don't ask me how that was possible with just the scenes he got from the newspaper, but it worked. It worked.
It must have,
Um,
because I haven't ever heard anybody say, I mean, you know, Travolta, they had to train him how to do stuff that actual editors do. And he was using some kind of an instrument
Yeah.
that had like a measurement around it. And he put one of the stills on it
Styroscope.
and moved it around and listened to the, I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
he gets in touch with Sally then. When he puts that together, he gets in touch with Sally. Sally's about to leave town. She's at the Greyhound bus station.
Oh yeah, she was gonna
And
leave.
he says, oh, come on, don't leave. I think,
just give me a minute, man. 10
do
minutes.
you think that he wanted to protect her, or do you think that he really needed, like, he wanted her to stay and help him?
Again, I think there was a little thing where there is this underlying sweetness to their characters. So to keep her there, again, to get in Brian De Palma's head and figure out what exactly he was trying to, do there, only he knows. But there was a little underlying sweetness, but there wasn't a love connection.
No.
But he was trying to keep her there to solve this crime. He wanted her to, I mean, in his mind, he could be looking back as, this is never going to, be gone. This will stick with us forever.
And also,
yeah,
he had a traumatic experience, and then he tells Sally why he feels the way he does. And it's because he got an informant killed, basically.
Yeah. This is where we kind of flip to the mob kind of stuff going on.
And back then there was a lot of mob stuff going on in Philly. And the scene with the guy in the car, remember I told you they filmed this in late fall and early winter? Yeah. When the informant is in that car and Travolta's trailing him and listening in, and the guy's strapped, he's wired. They're driving down South 13th Street. And that street is every winter everybody in the neighborhood puts up lights on 13th Street, and it's called The Miracle on 13th Street. So they're in South Philly at that time. The rest of the time they're in Center City. Now they're in South Philly.
Yeah.
The guy starts sweating. He's nervous, and it makes the battery on the wire start burning him.
Yes, and it could start burning
behind him, and Travolta's like, "What's going on?" Like he's panicking,
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
And so they take him down past Young Avenue.
Yes.
And he's like, pull over, I got to take a leak, because he needs to get this thing off. It's burning him.
Oh, when in the scene in the car when he's sweating like crazy, I'm just like going, oh my God, how are these two guys, mobbies, I call them, next to him, not seeing this dude sweating. They eventually, when he says pull over, they go, man, you're sweating. What's going on there? And immediately
so he runs into a building.
Listen, if you were a mobster back in the day and you seen a guy doing that and he was sweating to death like that, you would go, listen, let's pull over and let's take care of this guy. We know what's going on. Take off the jacket, bud. Listen, we had a lot of stuff going on in Cleveland here. And all I'll say is, I said this story back, but it's so interesting because Cleveland, Ohio here, again, you guys have seen the movies, things.
Oh yeah, I've seen lots of movies about Cleveland.
Listen, there was some stuff. Listen, my grandfather, that's all I'll say. He would take us, me and my uncle, at the age of like 6, 7, 8 years old. I remember because it was a weekly thing. He would walk us up to the local pizzeria, and he would walk us in and sit us at the table. Okay. And he didn't need to say nothing. They would bring us over a pizza and 2 pops. And me and my uncle would sit there talking. And he said, be back. And he went down the steps
to take care of business.
There was a conversation going for me and my uncle, probably about 40 minutes, every time, usually a half hour, 40 minutes. We were up there eating the pizza, just enough time to get the pizza stuff. And then my grandpa would come up and he would grab our hands and we would walk back home. And it just was a kind of this little tradition that was very odd. And I didn't learn about it until I was older, but that's all I'll say. It was a different age, different time. It was the early 80s, late 70s when things were. Anyways, what a story, what a memory.
I always said, I used to do Uber full time, and I used to always say that I was going to start a company that just did tours of all the mob hits around South Philly, because there's one like every couple of blocks, and that's where Galantano got it right there, and he was sitting in his car, and
yeah. RTN says a half hour, Dino. Yes, we're gonna get through it. Okay.
So they go.
Um,
Sally is getting ready to leave, but Travolta goes and finds her, and
yeah.
he says, "Come have a drink with me." And they go into the Reading Terminal Market, which anybody who's been in Philly knows the Reading Terminal Market. And it's because the Terminal Market's only like a block from the Greyhound station, so they walk over there.
Yeah.
And then he tells Sally about
Probably
why he
not.
feels
Yeah.
the way he does.
Yeah.
And of course, then they cut to John Lithgow. He's in the Gallery Mall, and he's stalking a woman.
Is that mall
He's,
still there?
yeah,
Oh, nice. You need
yeah.
to go take some video
And it's
there.
been
Although,
revitalized. They don't call it the Gallery anymore. They call it the Garment District, I think.
and it probably
Because,
don't look the same.
gentrification.
And it probably don't look the same, anyways. I'm so
So
disappointed.
he's looking for this woman, and he finds the right woman, the one that looks like he needs, because he needs he needs two other women that look like Sally, Nancy Allen.
Yes.
So he wants to make it look like there's a serial killer, but his ultimate goal is to kill Sally. But he's killing two other women because he wants to make it look like it's a serial killer looking for a certain type, a certain look.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is where, and we also find out, jumping a little bit ahead, that he gets this not a call, but a meeting with whoever the news guy is.
Yeah.
8 million people watch what we're doing, so I believe you. I want your footage. I want to get it on air. And he's very reluctant because he doesn't believe him. And so there's that kind of relationship going on, and whether he's telling the truth, and it kind of flows into the next part of the movie, because John Travolta is pretty down and out right here. He's like, so low, Sandy. And he's because he found out that he saw pictures from the cop. What cop shows pictures of Sally, in bed with the governor? He's like, see,
she was looking good though.
This is what we got to. Yeah, she was looking good. Look at what we got to deal with here. Yeah, who are you, the sound guy for a movie? Here, look at this evidence here with the governor. I don't know why he showed him those pictures, but nevertheless, he found out.
Burke disables
I'm
Jack's
going on too much.
phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Burke disables Jack's phone, and he calls Sally pretending to be the reporter. Everybody, drinks up. Drinks up.
Okay, so okay, I had to go to the bathroom. Oh, that was fast. Whew. I told you I'm quick.
You said we were trying to wrap it up, so let's wrap it up.
Oh, we got time. Come on.
Oh, now we have time.
Oh, no, can it continue?
How's your knee, by the way?
Oh,
Mr. I'll be fine, I'll be fine.
My knee's fine. I hurt myself. I'm good. My head's good. My knee's good. my right side of my body's good. I'm okay.
Your hip? Is your hip okay?
Hey, J.O.B. is here. Says, I know exactly what Ginger's talking about. Been to Reading Terminal many times.
Reading, not reading. Reading.
Oh, Reading Railroad on the Monopoly board. I get it. Geez. Oh, Louise. Binks is here. What's going on? LOL. Travolta fell to his knees at the end of when Sandy wore the foxy black outfit. Of course he did. Oh, anyone would.
He injured himself. Travolta injured himself in this movie when he was running into 30th Street Station.
Yeah.
He fell and twisted his ankle.
Yeah.
And they couldn't show him like walking fast or anything after that.
You'll only get this information at the Late Late Horror Show. Welcome one and all to the Late Late Horror Show. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, like, hit all the links and all that good stuff. Join our Patreon, join our channel, all that good stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can do. How's your hat, Dino? It's fading away, RTN. It's fading away. So yeah, do all of that stuff. Where I don't know where I was going with that.
Burke finds his next victim at right around there. He goes back to
the prostitute in the
victim
in the subway
station, and she is a working girl.
Subway station again.
Yes, the 30th Street Station, which is you can catch Amtrak there or SEPTA.
We've got a running theme going on these movie discussions we're doing. There's always a subway. There's always a kill down in there.
Yes, and the subways are always curiously bare of people.
Bare
There's never
people.
anybody down there.
Well, I mean, Burke technically, when he got to this prostitute, who I love the quarreling between the guy, the Navy guy. He was all dressed up in
That
his
I
Navy
have to
outfit,
say, the
like it's
transaction
1940s.
that they were doing in the phone booth, I have never seen that before.
The what?
What the working girl and the guy were doing in the phone booth, I never thought of that. I'd never seen that before.
But you can see how it works, right?
Oh, sure. It's a great, yeah. The setup is
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. It's like waist level where you can't see, and
Setup is great.
yeah, the setup is there. PJ Dolant, extras are expensive. What's going on? Anyways, good to see you. First time in here. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Welcome. You get a lot of fun stuff here. There you go. There you go. Work it. Trotter House, what's going on? So
Hey,
yes, this,
Trotter House.
yeah, yeah.
So then things don't work out with her and
No,
her
they don't.
John. And John Lithgow
The
says,
guy.
hey, how about me?
Let's just say real quick. The guy said, okay, 30 minutes, $30. Okay, because they were hassling 50, 40, 30. Okay. He goes in there and he couldn't even hold off for 5 minutes. So he gives her a $5 bill and he runs out.
Did he give her 5 or 10? I thought he gave her 10.
Was it whatever? Literally, I think 30 seconds. And she's like, wait, what's going on? And I like how she goes into the bathroom though. And she goes in to brush her teeth. How
Yeah, she
clean.
freshens up.
Yes, it's so
And
nice.
that was her downfall. If she were not so hygienic, she might have lived, because then John Lithgow comes in with the garrote from his watch.
Oh, geez.
And it's curtains for Boopy.
Okay, am I going to have to take care of PJ Dolant? I don't like it already, buddy. Not sure if that's just trolling. It most likely is.
Yeah, he
Phone
needs
booth,
to get
no,
out of here. He needs
fart.
to go.
I love you
Bye.
guys. I am poor. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, let me go in here real quick. There's a moderator in there somewhere. Did you guys get him? Yeah, just get rid of them.
Bye.
Ridiculous. Anyways, continuing on.
So he gets
Yeah.
the next victim in the bathroom.
Yes. Dino must commission a new hat with that one. I think somebody. Okay, it's going to. Okay, thank you, Rich Cat Ranch, for deleting and blocking that person for me.
Thanks, Kathy.
You guys see stuff like that. I trust you to block. Okay.
You
So
have
anyway,
the power
you have
of
the
the blue
power.
wrench.
Well, what an idiot! What a boopy! What? Oh, what's a boopy? Anyways, okay, come on. Let's round this out.
So then, John Lithgow sees he has told Sally that he's the reporter,
Yeah.
and to meet him at 30th Street Station. And so John Travolta drives her to 30th Street Station, and he says, "I'll be listening." And he wires her, and she goes off with John Lithgow, who she thinks is the reporter.
Oh wait, slow it down. We don't want. We do got like 20 minutes yet, so let's not so quick, because we're gonna wind this up really fast once we get to the subway here.
Not if you have anything to say about it.
Well, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It's about time for one of your,
love how this
careening
channel
off the tracks things.
tomfoolery. Well, listen, there's this whole thing before he even wires her up, where Burke, John Lithgow's character, takes and hooks up or does something to the phone system to where John Travolta's not getting a call
I
back.
said that he disabled his
Did you
phone.
say that? Okay, well, I'm living life over
And then
again.
he called Sally and told Sally that he was the reporter and to meet him. That he said that Jack's line was busy, he couldn't get through to him. So he said, "Well, how about if I talk to you? You were there. I'll just talk to you. Meet me at 30th Street Station."
You said all that?
Yes.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there is another camera angle that we didn't. I mean, we talked about how the voyeuristic side of Brian De Palma's filmmaking, and there's so many.
And there's also the 360.
Well, yeah, and there's this he's always pointing up to windows, and
Hmm.
like even when you see John Travolta where he's like hiding the footage and the camera and the sound
And
and all
when they
that.
get to 30th Street Station, John Lithgow's standing upstairs, which you're not allowed to go up there, but he's
No.
standing upstairs looking down at them from the
Yes.
window.
Yes. Yes. And where are we at in the film where he did he find out that all his stuff was erased before
And
Sally
that's where
or
we are
after?
now. That's where we are now.
Okay. So he runs back. Wait, this is before Sally's wired though, right? Or after? No, it's before. Yeah, there's a scene before he wires Sally up to go to the subway.
Hmm.
It's where he finds out that all of his tapes have been erased. And it's the scene you were talking about where there's the camera shot in the middle of the room,
Hmm.
and John Travolta starts running to every single tape reel
Right.
and starts playing them on all the instruments and everything, and is just continually going in a 360, and you're hearing the weird sounds, the
Yeah.
static, the white noise coming from,
Hmm. That gets
the
louder and louder and louder.
and it's creating kind of
A
building you
frenzy.
up, yeah, and anxiety in you as a
Yeah.
viewer, watching it. Your anxiety level's going up and up and up because you're like, oh, whoa, this is, and you feel what he's feeling, and
Hmm.
it's a very cool thing that a director or a filmmaker, whatever, can do to make you feel that way while watching a movie, and he does it so well in
Hmm.
that scene, and it's just perfect. Needless to say, he still has his copy. So it is there. But that's when he does, like you said, wire her up, and he takes her to the subway system. And this is the beginning of the end. And yeah, things start to go downhill. The whole movie's gone downhill.
Hmm.
The build up to the ending of this film is so well done, so good. I don't
And
even
so
know.
because
Yeah.
John Lithgow was standing in that window looking down at them, he
Yeah.
knows that Jack is with her. So that's why he's hustling her through the station, because he saw them when they pulled up.
Oh
He
yeah.
knows Jack's with her, and he knows he's got to get her away from Jack. He's got to get her away. So he
Exactly.
hustles her through the station
Well,
and
and
down into the subway.
Yeah, and John Travolta's got a thing where he can hear her, like with
Hmm. But
the
only if she's in range. She has to be in range.
yes. So when he hears her rushing off because he recognizes that it's not the reporter,
Hmm.
he rushes into the subway system, the whatever that is called there.
Yeah, the
Um,
tunnel. It's called a tunnel.
the tunnel. He rushes in there after her, and he's trying to listen and find out where she's at all
Right.
times, and he's putting on his gloves, he's pushing her forward, walking through the subway saying we're going to hop
And
on a
he's getting
train.
ready to do it. He's getting ready to do it.
Yeah, and somebody jumps out with a water hose
Hmm.
and makes them get on the train.
Hmm.
And he knows where it's going, John Travolta, so he kind of jumps back in the car because he can't get on the subway, and
He
he
just
rushes.
misses them. He's running behind the car like, Sally,
Yeah,
Sally, but the train's already gone and she can't hear him.
and they're rushing to the big parade and fireworks and all the festivities that's going on with the Liberty Bell and stuff.
And this is another funny little bit of trivia. Uh, where they are, never mind, because I don't want to give away the ending. Where they are.
Okay,
Um,
J.O.B. says, if you get a chance, Philly has one of the largest organs. Oh, geez, in the world, in the Macy's Center. Oh, okay, around
that's a
Halloween Day.
tradition. That's what
Yeah,
a
used in
tradition.
the
People
old
go to do that.
Jekyll and Hyde movie. Very cool.
And it's,
Um,
yeah,
so,
it's been
so
there since that was actually John Wanamaker's before it became Macy's. Back in the day, it was Wanamaker's, and that's what they were famous for, that pipe organ.
and you think the name's because they just really did Wanamaker?
No.
How do you know?
So then Travolta gets in his little Jeep and drives the whole way down Market Street. There's no traffic. There's no
Listen,
light stopping
he
him. He just drives the whole way down Market Street nonstop. And he
plows
busts through the
into.
parade and the fire engines and the cops and everything. And he drives through the middle of City Hall, which I mean, back then I guess you could have been able to do it, but now there's no way. They've had gates everywhere. You wouldn't be able to do that. But
Oh, I
I just
bet.
think it's funny.
Yeah.
He drives the whole way down Market Street. There's no traffic. He just drives straight through. But anyway.
Well, because it's all kind of cordoned off, and so there's a parade going on. Ginger, have you not been up on the latest news?
Oh, that's a good point. They had it all shut
Yeah.
because there was a parade.
Yes, and he cuts through the vehicles and gets in where the
Duh.
crowd is and
Mhm.
plows into the window, and he's knocked out. Oh, somebody help him! Help! Hurry! Oh, this guy needs medical attention. That's what they were saying. There was a woman in the back going, "Ah, my daughter, where's she at?"
And so at that
And then the
time,
TVs on the inside were playing the old Benny Hill show. You remember that?
and at that time that he crashed his truck into the window in front of the department store,
Yeah.
Sally and Burke, the killer, are now at
He's-
Penn's Landing, which
And
is the
it's
stop that I
nighttime.
got off at on Friday night,
Yeah.
2nd Street.
Yeah.
So he's walking her down at Penn's
God, you
Landing.
lived this movie over the weekend. Oh, I'm so happy for you. This is fantastic. Right? Okay. Continue. Just happy for you. You lived this movie.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
walking at Penn's Landing, literally exactly where he was walking with her. Yes.
And did you run up to the anyways, we'll get to that. But okay, so he wakes up in the ambulance.
Yeah. And he
with-
can hear her.
Yes. Well, he grabs his gear, because he's in the ambulance. They're going to take him away. Thank God he was still there.
Mhm.
But well, not thank God, because anyways. But he gets out and he's rushing around, after this big accident, concussion and everything, and listening for her and running towards where she's at. He hears the fireworks. He starts taking off towards that direction, and yeah, he's Burke is going to what? He's going to take her up to this kind of whatever it is up there. Is it a bridge? You know more than me.
It's like a pedestrian bridge. Yeah.
Okay. And there's nobody up there, so he's
Of course, there's nobody up there. There's a whole parade going on, and there's nobody around.
Hello, Emily. What's going on? We're getting to the saddest part of the movie, and what ends up
because
happening?
Jack sees her, he can see her.
Yeah. Yes, he runs up and he sees her scream over the precipice. So she's hollering, "Help, Jack! Jack!" She goes, "Jack! Jack! Splat!" Anyways, okay, let's be serious here. This is the ending of the movie. This is like one of the high points of this movie, and the climax. It's a climax like no other. It's sad. It's magnificent at the same time. It's unexpected, like a baby coming after 9.5 months.
Yes, I love Philly. I love it a lot, and I don't really appreciate when people make fun of it. I don't make fun of anybody's city where they live, but yes, I love Philly. I'm very loyal to my town.
Wait, who are you talking to me?
No,
or somebody else? Oh,
doesn't matter. I
Okay.
said what I said. I'm done.
You did. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So she's up there, and Burke is there. And when John Travolta sees her up there, Burke kind of comes up behind her with he's got his thing that he chokes.
And Travolta is so close.
He strangles with.
So close.
Yeah. He's so close to her, and he's running, and it's building up. It's building up. You can feel the tension. Her life's at stake, and it seems like what is an eternity for him to get up there. And if in your head, if you're thinking, you're going, he grabbed her and he's got her choking. How is she going to be survived after all that time? Because he's not going to make it. And once he gets up there, what happens, Ginger? I'll let you take us out here.
Lithgow is stabbing her at that point. He's already got her down, and she's completely incapacitated. And now he stabs her with like an awl or something like that. That's what he stabs the women with. But
Yeah.
Travolta gets to him, and he wraps his arm around him, and he makes him stab himself. He's making Lithgow stab himself. But it's too late. Sally's already dead. And it's so sad because he was trying to protect her. Like this happened to him before, and he he was trying to make up for that, I think, by let me save this person. I caused one person to die. Let me try to save this person, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, when he ends up killing Burke and he's holding Sally in his arms, and the camera is just going up and showing the fireworks and showing him hold her dead body in his
And the
hand
look on his face, it's
is
just like,
so,
oh
oh,
my
it's,
God.
yeah, it's like, again, he reminiscent to the guy, the police officer he hooked up and he ended up dying. And this is a lot more, you know,
It's
it,
personal. I mean, he really cared about
yeah,
her.
yeah. And that's how it ends. I mean,
But
well, no,
that's not where it ends.
no,
There's
no,
more.
no. But that part of like their relationship,
Yeah.
she's dead. You're like
Yeah.
going, oh my God, how the hell is Sally dead? You would think he would save her. But
Yeah.
then and again, it's so climactic and so good and played out that it's just so good. And but what's cool, well, not cool either, the ending of the movie, it's we hearken to the very beginning when he's trying to get that
Trying to find the
scream,
perfect scream.
and he goes through where he filmed her screaming when she died, when he was strangling her. And he uses that sound for the
And
movie.
the director's like, that's it. Like, that's a
Yeah.
really good scream.
That's and in his head, he's going, okay, at least she can live on, like you said, I think just a minute ago. Somehow she can live on through this movie by
And the
her
end
voice.
of the movie,
I mean,
to me, is poignant at the very end when you see him sitting down at Penn's Landing where it all happened, but it's snowing. It's bitter cold winter, and there's just a layer of snow everywhere. And he's just like,
it's a dreadful, and always re-listening to it. I mean, it's just it's pure dread and sadness, the way the movie ends, and you're
because
just
the
like,
the point when they met up for a drink, when he convinced her to not leave, and they met up for a drink at the terminal market, he said, just stick around for a couple days. He said, we'll leave together. Let's just go somewhere together. I think she was only
yeah,
going to Jersey, but he was like, we'll go together. Why not? I got nothing else to do. And I think he really thought, we get through this,
something could
we'll just take
happen.
off and
Yeah.
go somewhere together.
And again, yeah, there's an underlying love affair that could have been, that never happened,
Yeah, it was very
because of the
sad.
way the movie kind of played out, and it was an interesting twist that Brian De Palma did at the end. And again, you have to see it to appreciate it. But again, the climax, you know best part of the movie, most all the adjectives I could give it, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just sad, unbelievable, magnificent, great filmmaking.
Hmm.
The entire film was. And yeah, I mean, to round it out, if I were to give this one a score, Ginger, uh,
10.
I, I was going to say,
10.
yeah, I would give this a 10 out of 10. This is, I mean, are there little flaws? There are flaws that are necessary in the film. It's a
What flaws?
it's a
Where?
masterpiece. Well, again, I'm not going to go into it because I think it's a masterpiece of filmmaking. I'm not going to say anything negative about this one because it's just fantastic. And the fact that it's smashed in between Scarface, which I love, and if you haven't seen the original Scarface from the 30s, you got to see that
I
one
have
too.
not. I should.
Oh my
But
God.
just say, what's the last line in this movie? The last line in the movie.
Oh God. You go ahead.
The last line in the movie is Travolta saying, yeah, it's a good scream. It's a good scream. And
Yeah.
the director keeps playing it over and over because it's so perfect. And
Yeah.
Travolta's like,
He's
he looks
sweating
like
and yeah.
death. He's
Oh
sweating
yeah.
and he's crying. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. And his director goes, that's a good scream. And Travolta says, yeah, it's a good scream. It's a good scream. But the
Yep.
director keeps playing it over and over and over. And at the very end, Travolta's like, like get it out of my head, but it's a
Right.
great scream.
No, listen, I can't say enough about this film. I watched it 20 years ago, maybe
Me too.
25,
Many,
25.
many years ago.
Yeah. And to watch this again with a different eye and
Hmm.
appreciation towards life and, all of that.
And more
It's
things to compare it to, because nothing compares to this movie. I mean,
oh yeah, no, it's
unless it's a Hitchcock movie, maybe.
well, again, no, it's a very unique film. It's a standalone. It's one again. I don't understand why it's not.
More popular. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah, it is weird. But again, when you get a director and things come out at the wrong time, and I don't know. I'm not saying it's not
Bye,
a
CM. Hope to see you in the stream.
yeah. See you later, CM.
Looks like Binks is leaving. Good night, Binks.
Yeah, good night, everybody who is here. Yeah, it is. It's the bottom of the hour. We're winding it up. So
And
everybody,
they were talking about Philadelphia stuff, and somebody mentioned Eastern State Penitentiary. And I
yeah,
go there every year. They had this thing called Terror Behind the Walls at Halloween, started
yeah,
the 23rd, and you
yepper.
go in at night and you can walk. You don't get to see like the whole prison, but they definitely let you see Al Capone's cell, and you get to go out. You're in the yard, like
Hmm.
in the middle of the courtyard, in the middle of the prison, and
It's
it
very
got
cool.
scarier and scarier
Ugh,
every year. It was really good the last time I went, which was probably in like 2018, I think was the last time they had it.
okay, yeah, I
But
would love
yeah,
to
you
go
can still
there.
go into Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, yeah, no,
I have
yeah,
pictures of it I can put on Discord.
yeah. Go put them up there. That would be cool. Yeah, I love the I love any old prisons for
It's
haunts.
definitely creepy. I mean, they say that people, of course, people say it's haunted, and you know what? How could it not be haunted? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well,
But I
exactly. I
never
mean,
experienced anything. I can only say that it just has an eerie feel to it. I mean, it's creepy. That prison was there for a long time, a
yes,
long time,
yes.
and it saw probably, it saw a lot. So I wouldn't doubt that it's haunted, but I never saw anything.
Exactly. So, hey, upcoming, you guys, again, be sure before you leave, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, join Patreon for movie nights, join the channel, all that good stuff.
What are we
Next
doing
up,
Wednesday?
well, tonight, Johnny Dollar all night long. So there you go with that mix.
Johnny Dollar all night long.
Yeah, yeah. So tomorrow again, I do have Battle of the Old Time Radio Horror Shows. Uh, I hope to do it tomorrow. If I feel up to needing the night off, I might do
No,
that.
I
But
thought Mondays you were going to take off.
well, I got this set because Tracy can't do this Tuesday, but she'll be doing next Tuesday
Oh.
a paranormal show with Paranormal
So
Seekers.
you'll have Tuesday off then.
Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
then Wednesday.
I think that's fair if you get a day off. You have my approval.
Thank you, Ginger.
You're welcome.
But Wednesday we are going to do The Evil Eye 1964. It is a Mario Bava giallo film. It's an early one.
When are we doing that?
We are doing that Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes. And then next Sunday, me and Ginger will do Four Flies on Gray Velvet from
Oh, I didn't know
1971.
we were doing that.
Yeah.
That one was.
Jeez, well, you need to know it's a Dario Argento film. It's the
They
next
call
one.
that one of the Animal trilogy, even though they're
Yes.
unrelated.
Right, right. Flies, flies. Oh. Insects considered animals? I guess you
And
can.
what were the other two? It was the flies, and it was
The Evil Eye is Wednesday.
no, the Animal trilogy. He had 3
Oh,
movies in a row.
Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Yes.
And what was the other one?
One that we did.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can't remember. Don't stick me with this question. And then a lot of paranormal shows. And then a big channel party, Halloween party on October 22nd, Saturday evening. No trivia night that night. We are going to do an earlier show at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and people can come in costumes, join the stream.
Everybody, bye.
Wait, what?
Everybody's saying bye, and you're jibba jabbing, so I can't say bye. So I'm just like,
Oh,
bye.
I guess. Okay. Well, they don't want to hear me. Go on. I'll say goodnight to you guys. Torture Duckling. Yeah, that's one we'll get to, I think, RTN. Because we're gonna hit up all the giallos. I mean, I'm in that mood.
Yes, you have been.
We'll throw in these other ones. Like I said, we'll do Blow Up from 1966.
Yes,
By
yes.
Michelangelo Antonioni. It's what inspired this film. It's almost the same thing, but
And rhymes with baloney.
it's fried bologna with Munster cheese and mustard on toast. Is fantastic.
Toasted rye. Toasted
Jibba
rye.
jabba. Frank says jibba jabba. RTN wants ASMR with ginger. Well,
Who said that?
RTN Denny. I'll talk about that with her after. Maybe we can.
My mic isn't good for ASMR. I don't have a good mic for ASMR.
It's not. Like I
can't even hear you. And
Well,
don't do that.
You got no speakers, and don't do that. Okay, I won't. Okay, here we go. Okay, so until next week, you guys. I'll see you in the overnight. Peace. Say something, Ginger.
Mm-mm.
No, you're not going to say nothing? You're not going to say bye to all these lovely folks. How about J.O.O.B. Say goodnight to them. We need a proper good night, Ginger. We can't leave.
You always do this, and I know